Although they were able to make things happen when nobody believed that they could succeed, they were still not able to make full use of their contributions because the real difficulties had just begun.
With tariffs totaling 18 million NT dollars, I thought, where am I going to get this money? And also 5 million NT dollars for transportation? Where can I find this money? There was no one with this kind of experience. The hospital's entire electric system would need to be modified, which would require everyone's cooperation. This was a scary thought. In Taiwan, the import tax for medical equipment is 5%, but the import tax for the BMRI vehicle was 25% because it was a donation. If we report the price of the BMRI below the cost instead of its retail value, it could help to reduce the import taxes, and perhaps the government will waive the taxes since the numbers are smaller. So now the price was 600,000 NT dollars, which actually doesn't even cover the cost of production. So now, although we still needed to pay the tax, the amount is much lower. So all of this was thanks to Olivia.
Although a lower price was reported, Taitung St. Mary's Hospital would still need to pay a hefty sum of taxes. Jennifer thought, this is a charity donation. Why should it be subject to taxation?
I kept thinking, since this is charity, why should it be subject to taxation? I've always held the belief a charity donation should be tax-free.
Import tariffs were a time-consuming challenge and involved many complications. Fortunately, Ministry of Finance officers were eager to help. They helped to find a government regulation which perfectly fit the situation, exempting us from import tax.
After finding this so-called disaster relief supplies import loophole, we were able to meet some regulations. But there was still a lot of government paperwork to go through. It was very, very difficult. Therefore, the time passed by steadily. Later, we heard that another sister had passed away. Another sister lost to breast cancer. We were so anxious, we couldn't wait any longer.
Small but beautiful St. Mary's Hospital was about to suddenly accept an expensive medical screening device, but it was like a mission impossible just trying to find a location for it.
The machine is very heavy, weighing 5 or 6 tons. To ensure the magnetic field was stable is also very hard, so we needed to utilize a proper shielding design and a larger container truck that we could put our MRI machine into so that the hospital doesn't have to redesign its facilities or deal with the magnetic issue. But as this was an oversized vehicle, therefore it did not comply with road regulations in Taiwan, and so there was just no way to import it and no way to deliver it.
While everyone was still brainstorming, Taiwan's Ministry of Transportation modified the road regulations under special conditions where the trailer could be imported with limited transportation frequency. Instantly, there was a solution to the original problem. Both the Taiwan and Boston teams finally made up their minds to import the mobile BMRI trailer. Taitung St. Mary's Hospital decided to build a parking space in the parking lot in order to create safe operation surroundings. The hospital's team worked around the clock day and night, devoting themselves to constructing the site. We first used real photos stitched onto a simulated field in order to render the complete image simulation. In the past, this place was a rice field. That said, we were very worried. After we began to dig, we needed to check if the earth was suitable or not, so that we could assess how many pounds of cement were needed and how thick the steel reinforcement bars had to be. We had to keep in contact with the Aurora headquarters, always keeping in touch and letting them know what was going on here. And that's how we planned it all. How could a car up to 16 meters in length be successfully delivered to Taiwan? It was a difficult and challenging task, from the factory to the harbor and the long journey across the ocean and through the mountains to Taitung. The whole delivery process had to be executed with the utmost caution.
During transportation, this MRI magnet has to be kept cold with liquid helium. If low temperatures are not maintained, the helium will turn to gas and escape the cryogenic chamber, resulting in the demagnetization of the magnet. If maintenance of the MRI during travel is poor, it means that we would probably need to pay nearly 2 million NT dollars more to refill the helium. And if the helium level drops below the standard level, then this machine could be damaged. This is a problem.
The Zhang Yongfa Foundation showed their loving heart by taking responsibility for the whole transportation process, promising to be responsible for all of the transportation charges.
They gave us a simple solution, which they called door-to-door service. That is, from their door to our door, we would not have to worry about anything in between. When we received the okay, we immediately took action in order to ensure that this boat would return to Taiwan on time. Within a short period of time, in only a week, we solved the problem. This ship first went to the United States, going to Los Angeles first. We had to first test the outlet in the US. After making sure that it was functional, when lifting the trailer onto the boat, we had to make a link with the machine and a 480-volt outlet. However, general container vessels only use 440 volts, so to deal with this particular machine, we were forced to create a 480-volt outlet.
After meeting with the U.S. technical team more than 20 times, nearly 3 months of preparation, and 3 weeks on the ocean, this BMRI machine and its truck smoothly and successfully arrived in Taitung on May 16, 2013. These 3 months we have had to coordinate with the traffic, transportation, and government agencies. There were various challenges: the U.S. side of the transport, the Taiwan side of the transport, and of course lifting. And now, finally having finished goods inspection, we are ready to go.